Hola, les habla Enrique Chaurán y les quiero dar la bienvenida al West Side de Kansas City. Welcome to Kansas City's West Side. Known in the early 1900s as Kansas City's Mexican Quarter, the West Side has a unique and fascinating history, one that is often overlooked and underappreciated.
The shows, you had to sit in a particular place. You know, they would designate a place for Hispanics and blacks. You couldn't sit in a movie house anywhere that you wanted to. You had to go up in the balcony or go wherever they told you to go. It was kind of like segregated.
There was one incidents when they went to play in this town in Kansas that this gentleman would, if their team lost, he would start shooting. So then they didn't want to go anymore.
I'm standing here in front of Mulkey Square Park, the second oldest city park in Kansas City, located in the city's west side, which has such a rich history in the sport of baseball.
Take me out to the ball game.
Here in the west side, just like in Kansas City, Kansas, we grew up in baseball. Started way back in the 20s, you know, where first generation started growing up here, you know, and that's how we played, not but baseball.
What happened here is that baseball served as a vehicle to expose the Mexican ball players to the people in Kansas City and to show them what kind of brand of baseball we used to play, which was very good.
The players were fabulous, tall, good-looking guys, and the girls were really interested in just going to see the guys.
The St. Louis Cardinals, I believe, always had a bunch of scouts that would scout the ball players around the area, and they would hold tryouts like at Kansas City Stadium or in Kansas City, Kansas, a place called Kensington Park. So of course all the ones that played baseball, the Mexicans, would go to all these parks and try to get a major league contract.
From the Kansas City Blues in the 1880s to one of the most successful teams in the history of black baseball, the Kansas City Monarchs, baseball was also very much alive in 1918 in Kansas City's west side.
Mr. Reyes and Mr. Cervantes and my dad sponsored a team through the UCM, which is called Unión Cultural Mexicana.
I must have been about 9, 10 years old then. And we always look forward to that, going out of town on the weekends and following our team. And they were the Wildcats.
We had a lot of fun playing the Monarchs. We had a lot of fun doing that. And the game got a little serious there, you know, towards the end there, because they wanted to beat us and they couldn't do it. We wound up winning the game. And what was funny about that was that all through the years, it wasn't documented, you know.
Mexican-American youth took to baseball immediately, since the game was as American as apple pie, and was a venue for those wanting to identify themselves as American.
I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. But before then, we used to play like a sandlot, and we used a broomstick for a bat, and we used to get those milk cans and crush them and play sandlot in the alleys, you know, here in the west side.
Mostly I played sandlot ball here in the neighborhood, in the park, at Gage Park.
When I was a kid growing up, I played baseball in Kansas City, Kansas, the area called Argentine, Kansas. And they had a baseball league called 3 and 2, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It was all about camaraderie and good friends.
But that's how we all got started, you know, playing ball.
The Mexican-American community took great pride, or as we say, orgullo, in their teams. Teams like Guadalupe, the Bravos, the Aztecas, and UCM.
We used to have, in those days, baseball, you know, baseball was it. In fact, all over the city, it was, you know, to have a baseball team, you really had, you know, some pride.
We had some real good baseball players here on the west side who were the Aztecas and the Bravos later on, and then the Amigos later on. But the Aztecas, they started out real early in the early 1930, 28, something like that.
The Aztecas And the Eagles were really involved here also with the Bravos, and they played a lot of against each other for quite a while.
It was a good character builder, good for the community.
What they call the brown circuit. You meet all these Hispanic friends that you played against for years and years, and you never forget that friendship.
The players on these teams were local heroes. They were larger than life. And not only were these teams the best in Kansas City, but in the entire Midwest, playing in small towns and cities for the pure joy of the game.
My wife, you know, I was already married when I was playing for the UCN, you know, Wildcats, and she made me quit because we were going out of town. She didn't like that.
The most fond memories that I have and that I really like, and I still draw back on those memories, are when we used to go out of town and play against other Mexican teams. We'll go to these tournaments to try to win first place, the least place, first, second, and third. Come back with the trophy, and everybody's proud of what you've accomplished.
Many players from Kansas City's Mexican-American community attracted the attention of professional teams. Teams like the Yankees, the Cardinals, Indians, and Kansas City Athletics. And a few even got to make it to what we call the show.
Waxy and Jimmy Tenderloin, Fly and Pito got drafted from the Yankees.
Waxy, he was a great shortstop. He played for the Aztecas as well. And the thing about these guys, they did stuff that, you know, ordinary ball players don't do. I mean, they did it incredibly well. They had honed their skills, and they were really good ball players, and people would stand up and take notice of that. They had these teams that went around. They had a regular following. They had a crowd of people that would go with them, just like rock stars have nowadays.
But most importantly, through their performances on the field and knowledge of the game of baseball, these young men and women not only claimed their American heritage, they also confirmed that the national pastime was their game too. Béisbol es nuestro juego también.